Guys, the legendary Saiyan Yamoshi will show for the first time all her power to help Goku defeat Hiroki, the evil Saiyan, and you will see all this here with me. But before I start, I want you to hit that like so that we can hit our goal of 3,000 likes before I bring you the next episode in the sequence. Are you done with all of that? Alright, come with me. Currently in the 7th universe, more precisely on planet Earth, it was possible to see Goku and Hiroki on the island where Master Roshi lived. Both Saiyans were flying over the place and a few kilometers from where Vegeta and Kyu were, who were already facing each other, unlike Goku and Hiroki, who were just staring at each other, while the divine energy was released, giving a clear contrast of difference between the two, as Goku released a pure divine energy in a golden tone mixed with silver similar to that of Excalibur in his hands, while Hiroki was releasing an evil energy in a darker burgundy red. One of Hiroki's hands was made of energy, as Goku had ripped Hiroki's hand off with Excalibur. Goku and Hiroki remained facing each other for a few seconds, until both disappeared in a flash, and then everyone could hear the noise of the impact of the attack of both Saiyans that collided, generating an impact wave so strong that it made the clouds in the sky move away, and the seawater become agitated. Goku and Hiroki, after the first exchange of blows, moved away from each other and again advanced. Hiroki had invoked a sword that was the reverse of Excalibur. Hiroki's sword was completely evil, and that way the Saiyans started a sword fight with each other. Goku and Hiroki were facing each other, intent on killing each other. A few kilometers from the place where Goku and Hiroki were fighting a sword duel, it was possible to see Vegeta and Kyu facing each other in a frantic and intense way. The Prince of Saiyans and the Fox Kyu did not hold back the strength of their blows. Around Kyu, there were a layer of blue flames that was protecting and softening the damage he suffered from Vegeta's attacks, who was with his new true Super Saiyan God transformation, and he mixed his new power with his energy of destruction that Vegeta possessed. The Prince of Saiyans were using destruction energy to power their strikes, and since the destruction energy was not directly touching Kyu's flames, Vegeta's destruction energy was not being nullified. Kyu at first was very confident with his abilities and was sure that even with Vegeta's increased power, the Prince of Saiyans was still too weak to be considered a threat to him. But Kyu quickly regretted that thought, because unlike Goku, who could only keep his transformation activated to use Excalibur, Vegeta had already mastered the transformation, because he already knew the primitive nature of the Saiyans for many years. So for him to maintain that transformation and extract its maximum potential was something very simple and easy. So without even using a sacred sword, Vegeta was already strong enough to face Kyu. Kyu started to fight seriously. He made his body for a change color, showing that he was going to take this fight seriously. Kyu suddenly disappeared, but in a matter of seconds, he reappeared above Vegeta. Kyu tried to land a kick on the Prince of Saiyans, but Vegeta managed to dodge and counterattack with an energy sphere on Kyu's face. The sphere, upon contact with the Fox's flames, ended up disappearing. But still, Kyu felt discomfort on his face, something that distracted him, giving Vegeta the perfect opportunity to start a sequence of attacks on Kyu's face, who couldn't defend him from everyone. In the blow that Vegeta used his energy, Kyu managed to dodge and hit a precise punch in Vegeta's abdomen that ended up spitting a little amount of saliva when receiving that blow. And when Kyu used his tail to fire a blast of energy at close range at Vegeta, which ended up being hit and sent into the water, creating a huge explosion that sent a lot of water flying in all directions. Kyu thought, "That bastard was stronger than I imagined, but I think that this attack must have finished him off, or at least knocked him out, because even Hiroki couldn't stand that attack head-on, and was badly hurt when I faced him," thought the fox while looking at the sea, just waiting to see Vegeta's body floating lifeless or passed out. But unfortunately for Kyu, the body of the Prince of Saiyans did not appear. Suddenly, the seawater began to release a large amount of smoke, and a purple glow began to appear at the bottom of the sea. And with that, a new explosion happened. And before that, Kyu could think he ended up receiving a punch so hard that it threw him in the direction of a mountain. Then Kyu felt a kick hitting the center of his chest, making him cross the mountain. Even without seeing his energy, Kyu started shooting several blasts of energy and blue flames that ended up destroying everything around. Kyu didn't know how, but Vegeta had gotten stronger than before, because his power was much greater than before, and Kyu knew that Saiyans could evolve quickly, but not that fast. The reason of the Saiyans, they had to have a hidden trump card, and even with those thoughts surrounding his mind, the fox paid attention to everything around him, since he wasn't feeling Vegeta's presence anymore. But Kyu knew that the Prince of Saiyans was still there because of Kyu's fox instincts. Vegeta said, You're really very strong for a being that came from another dimension, and that makes me want to face others like you. But you are a threat to this planet and to my family, and because of that I will have to defeat you. But not as a Saiyan, but as the future god of destruction of the 7th universe," said the Prince of Saiyans, making Kyu quickly turn around and look in the direction where he could hear someone's footsteps. And when Kyu looked better, he could see Vegeta, but he was different from before. Vegeta not long ago was using the same transformation as Goku, which resembled an Ozaru a lot, but in the white color. That was the most primitive form of the Saiyans. But now Vegeta had his eyes in a different way. Shining on his chest, there was a symbol of the god of destruction of Universe 7, showing that the Prince of Saiyans had managed to reunite the power of the Super Saiyan God with the power of the god of destruction, making Vegeta reach the power of the Super Saiyan Perfect God in a unique and unprecedented way. Kyu spoke. "You bastard. Do you think that because you've got this new power, you'll be able to defeat or humiliate me? I'll show you what real power is, you damn monkey," said the fox with extreme anger as she looked at Vegeta, who didn't care a bit about the way Kyu spoke. Kyu began to raise his power to a maximum, making all his 9 tails appear behind him. The 9 tails had 9 spears of flames that had different colors, and along with that, the fox's body fur began to change until it was completely black, with some dark red and blue details across its body. Kyu, after completing his transformation, he advanced towards Vegeta and tried to hit Vegeta with a sequence of blows. But the Saiyan easily dodged all of Kyu's blows and also his spears of flames that seemed to have a kind of conscience of their own, because all the spears of flames were acting on their own without taking orders from Kyu, who was completely focused on trying to land a hit on Vegeta. Vegeta, who at that moment was just dodging Kyu's blows, decided to act and hit a punch, but not a punch on Kyu, but a punch on the ground, releasing his energy of destruction, causing cracks in the ground, causing several rocks to fly out, confusing Kyu, and the spears of flames that began to be extinguished by Vegeta, who simply took them in his hands and squeezed them until they exploded. Kyu felt that his spears of flames were destroyed. He used his energy to make an explosion, causing everything around to be disintegrated, except Vegeta, who ended up using his energy of destruction to protect himself from that explosion, and for Vegeta's energy of destruction to be united to the divine power of the Super Saiyan God he possessed. Vegeta's power of destruction was stronger than Beerus's power of destruction, and taking advantage of Kyu, who was off guard, Vegeta advanced towards Kyu and created a scythe made of divine energy. And before Kyu could react, he ended up being cut into several pieces by Vegeta, and with that the battle between the Prince of Saiyans and the Fox, coming from another dimension, ended up with Vegeta as the winner. Vegeta said, "I did my part, Kakarot. Now the rest is up to you," said the Prince of Saiyans before returning to his base form. Several injuries ended up appearing on his body for having exceeded the limit of his body, and thanks to that Vegeta ended up fainting on the spot. Currently in the 7th universe, more precisely on the planet Earth, it was possible to see Goku and Hiroki facing each other in a sword duel. Goku was using his Super Saiyan True God transformation along with Excalibur. Hiroki was already using his Super Saiyan God transformation, corrupted together with a sword made completely of evil divine energy, unlike Excalibur, which was a holy sword made completely of pure divine energy in a simple way. It could be said that the fight was between two gods, a good god against an evil god, and that it was clear to everyone, especially Master Roshi. Master Roshi spoke, "When the swords of light and the sword of evil collide, a battle between good and evil will ensue, and whoever wins will decide the fate of the universe. If the god who is carrying the sword of light wins, the universe will enter a period of peace that will last for many years. But if the evil god wins, the universe will be plunged into destruction and chaos that will last for several years." An enigmatic way making Whis and Yamoshi look at him confused by the old master's words. Whis said, "What do you mean by that, Master Roshi? By the way, you said it seems like you were making a prophecy about that duel between Mr. Goku and Hiroki," asked the angel without knowing why Master Roshi had spoken that way. Master Roshi said, "A long time ago, a friend of mine who was very young, she had a dream of a destruction of the universe. And in one of those dreams, my friend saw two people facing each other, one being of light and the other of darkness, and the battle between these two beings couldn't completely change the order of the universe. At that moment, my friend was still very young and did not know that she had the ability to see the future for a few moments. So she just ignored it and when she realized that it was a dream of what really happened, my friend ended up telling me, and that's why I found Excalibur. But at the time the sword was too rusty and full of blood marks, so I simply threw the sword into the sea to make sure the being of darkness didn't destroy or corrupt it. And now I know that all I did was for Goku to wield Excalibur, even though this Excalibur is not the old sword, but a new one. I think that in the right hands, Excalibur reveals its true appearance," said the old master while looking at the angel, who was surprised by the words from Master Roshi, and not only Whis but Yamoshi too, since now she knew that Goku was always destined to face Hiroki. Yamoshi thought, "It seems that I had never been the right person destined to fight and defeat you, Hiroki. Son Goku, before I only saw this Saiyan as a way to get rid of my biggest curse, but now I really guess you are the one. So don't think about being defeated by Hiroki, you idiot Saiyan," Yamoshi thought with a smile on her face and a slight blush on her cheeks. Going back to the duel between Goku and Hiroki, it was possible to see that both Saiyans were very motivated to beat each other. The duel of the two was well balanced to the point that neither of the two Saiyans could directly attack each other, because even Hiroki being a master of the sword and Goku a mere beginner, Goku was very fast. He managed to dodge and defend against Hiroki's attacks, and Hiroki easily managed to defend himself from Goku's simple attacks. Hiroki was irritated by the fact that a mere Saiyan that he himself had already humiliated and easily defeated was now making him have to retreat and defend himself from some attacks that could be deadly for him. And this made the evil Saiyan's anger grow even greater. Hiroki, moved by his anger, he released his aura, and with that he managed to push Goku away. Hiroki began to swing his evil sword, creating several beams of evil energy that went towards Goku. But he did not move away, but he cut all the attacks using the Excalibur, and seeing that, Hiroki and everyone around saw that Goku's movements were more fluid and simple than before, showing that he was developing throughout the fight, which left Hiroki slightly worried. After all, if Goku in his current state, it was already making Hiroki tremble with fear. If Goku got stronger during the battle, his victory would be a matter of time. Hiroki said, "I'm already tired of facing you, you filthy Saiyan. Now I'm going to show you the difference between a fake Super Saiyan God and a real Super Saiyan God," shouted the Saiyan. Moved by his rage, Hiroki started to raise his power, making the climate of the place change completely, making the clouds turn into a red wine tone, similar to Hiroki's aura. And it didn't take long for a flash of energy to appear in the place, leaving everyone temporarily blind, except Goku, who remained calm, staring at the energy sphere that appeared around Hiroki. After a few seconds, everyone could see the energy sphere gradually disappear. Suddenly, Goku raised Excalibur and concentrated, making her golden aura shine more intensely. Suddenly, Goku turned and performed an aerial slash that cut the air and collided with another aerial slash that was made by Hiroki, who now had a similar transformation to Goku, but his body hair was the same color as his corrupted Super Saiyan God transformation. When Goku saw Hiroki's increase in power, he wasn't shaken. Goku held Excalibur with more force and advanced towards Hiroki, who managed to stop Goku's first blow. The next instant, Hiroki counterattacked, making a cut in Goku's chest that had started at the shoulder and went to the end of his abdomen, which made Hiroki smile in an arrogant way. But his smile disappeared when he felt a burning sensation on his cheek, which made him move away from Goku and take his hand to his cheek, only to see some blood on his fingers, showing that Goku had attacked him when he didn't realize, which made Hiroki get even more enraged and charged towards Goku. Goku began to release even more energy and advanced again against Hiroki, and a fight between the two again began, one that no one but Whis could see perfectly, as Master Roshi and Yamoshi could only see two energy flashes facing each other, and the sea being cut several times, and some attacks even ended up falling on the barrier around Master Roshi's island. And to Whis' surprise, the barrier was being affected by the impact waves, which left him surprised, because not even the gods of destruction had managed to cause a mere scratch in the barrier created by Whis. Goku, who was having a balanced fight before, was now very injured by the evil Saiyan, that with each attack that Hiroki landed, his arrogant smile increased even more. This did not affect Goku, because even though the Saiyan was injured, he remained with a calm expression on his face, which showed he had a plan or an ace up his sleeve. Hiroki, seeing this and fearing that he could end up dying if Goku used greater power, or that Excalibur had a special power or ability, Hiroki used its power and generated clones with his energy, and then ordered everyone to attack Goku, who stopped defending himself, and he just concentrated his energy on generating a barrier around himself. Hiroki's energy avatars were many to the point of creating a kind of dome around Goku so that they could attack the Saiyan, and by doing that, Hiroki's victory was certain. Hiroki spoke. "I finally got rid of you, you damn Saiyan. If you had stayed by my side, we would have conquered all the universes together with Kyu's help. But I think I'll have to do it alone since I don't feel Kyu's energy anymore, which means that the other Saiyan defeated him. Well, what matters is that, in the end, I won," said the Saiyan, convinced of his victory. Hiroki turned his back to look at Master Roshi's island in the intention of finding his beloved Yamoshi. Yamoshi said, "So in the end, not even Goku could beat him. So I'll do it even if I die in the process," shouted the ancestor of the Saiyans, raising her power, making her transform into Super Saiyan true God form by 100%. Her fur turned white, along with a tail of the same color. Yamoshi's hair had grown even more. Yamoshi, who was already transformed, came out within the barrier created by Whis and advanced towards Hiroki. But the moment she approached her former lover, she felt her body getting weak because of Hiroki's evil power that weakened any being that approached him. Hiroki, seeing the perfect chance, he concentrated his power in his fist and landed a punch on Yamoshi's face that ended up being thrown on Master Roshi's island, where she ended up crossing the barrier that Whis had temporarily opened. Yamoshi ended up falling on the house of Master Roshi, and having had his strength drained, Yamoshi ended up returning to her base form. Hiroki said, "Now, nothing and no one can defeat me. After I destroy the cursed sword, I will be the most powerful being in the universe," said the Saiyan before starting to laugh in an evil way, and looking at Yamoshi, who was very angry. Only at that moment he felt a great divine power growing in his back, which made Hiroki concentrate all his power in his sword, making it a gigantic sword. And in doing so, Hiroki brought the sword down with full force towards the dome where Goku was. But the moment Hiroki's sword touched the center of the dome, it was stopped by someone, and then Hiroki's sword turned into energy fragments, and in the next instant the dome was destroyed, revealing Goku in his Super Saiyan God form perfect. But he was different because his body fur was white, and the Excalibur in his hands was nothing less than a sword made of pure divine energy, and it no longer even had the form of a sword. Excalibur was more deadly than ever. Goku said, "Hiroki, I thank you for this great fight and for helping me overcome myself again. But this battle of ours ends here and now. So for the sake of those I love, disappear. Evil Super Saiyan God," said the Saiyan while lifting Excalibur little by little and then lowering it with full force, generating a precise cut, and so fast that it was superior to the speed of light. And not even Whis had seen Goku's blow, but everyone saw when Hiroki's body began to disintegrate. And with that, the battle between good and evil was over, and Yamoshi was finally free of his greatest curse. Hey guys, we arrived at the last episode, but don't be sad, because there will be a continuation, and it all depends on you. Comment there if you want a continuation and what you want in this continuation. Will Goku be able to date Yamoshi? Will Yamoshi be officially elected as the new god of destruction for the 7th universe? Well, these are some ideas. Leave yours below, and I'll see you in the next video.